Inside Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' relationship amid their legal battle. Good days and bad days. Are these two headed for divorce?
Strangers describe me as
extremely disloyal.
So it's been reported for months that they are separated, that Blake and Ryan do not live together, that they are in separate households. And
did Ryan Reynolds ditch Blake Lively at the premiere of Another Simple Favor to save his own career?
Lively and Reynolds, who once seemed like untouchable Hollywood darlings, can't seem to find their footing.
Justin Baldoni's career has taken a hit, Ryan Reynolds' career is suffering, and Blake Lively's own marriage is falling apart.
Insiders are spilling on the real reason why Ryan Reynolds left Blake Lively alone on the red carpet amid the Anna Kendrick beef, and it's all about money. Ryan and Blake both now realize if their careers are to survive, they cannot be involved in the same projects because everything will be heavily screwed.
It was supposed to be Hollywood's golden love story. The perfect couple, the dreamy red carpets, the viral jokes. But behind the smiles, a ticking time bomb. Now, after years of carefully curated perfection, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are facing one of the most public implosions in celebrity history. Divorce rumors, secret lawsuits, leaked texts, and a war over creative control. This isn't just a breakup. It's a full-blown PR apocalypse. For over a decade, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds were the envy of Tinseltown. They were everywhere: Met Gala steps, SNL promos, Instagram posts that screamed, "Look how effortlessly happy we are." Their chemistry seemed effortless, their banter witty, their love story scripted. But beneath the surface, cracks had been forming for years. By late 2020, they stopped living together. Not because of fights or drama, but by design. Separate homes, separate lives, but the same red carpet smiles. And when Ryan skipped Blake's premiere for Another Simple Favor, fans started asking the real question: was this marriage ever real at all?
Part of the reason why they were a power couple was because of how involved they were in Hollywood, but just try to separate them into two separate entities.
Reynolds filed a motion to dismiss the lawsuits on Tuesday, March 18th. Us reached out to Baldoni's lawyer for comment at the time. The entirety of Mr. Baldoni's case appears to be based on Mr. Reynolds allegedly privately calling Mr. Baldoni a predator.
Just try to separate them into two separate entities, and to not look at them as a couple will be difficult to do. Ryan Reynolds' desperate bid to save his image amid Blake Lively's $400 million legal battle with Justin Baldoni. So, I mean, that's a good sign for Blake that Ryan's trying to save. Now, I've talked to you guys before about their relationship, and I feel like Ryan's always treated Blake less than he is. It kind of reminds me of his relationship with Scarlett Johansson. He could not deal with having a superstar as a partner, so he wants someone who's famous, but not as famous as he is, at least not as threatening. And the way that he has posted about her on social media, I would never forgive my husband. But it seems like Ryan was stressing out, so he wanted to file this protective order to try to shut up the attorney so that he stops talking about Ryan Reynolds' connection and any of the other projects that Ryan Reynolds has going, because he has a production company with a lot of movies and things in store, so it would be pretty bad timing if his reputation tanked.
Ryan's absence wasn't random. It was calculated. He missed every promo event for It Ends With Us, including the South by Southwest premiere, the film Blake produced, starred in, and poured her heart into. No interviews, no photos, no supportive husband reposts, just silence. Cold, calculated, deafening silence. And then came the Anna Kendrick beef. Not literal, but definitely awkward. Fans noticed the icy tension between the two longtime co-stars during press tours. Amazon even reportedly labeled Blake radioactive, and insiders say Anna was practically being used as a human shield to avoid bad press. The illusion was crumbling. Fast. Back in September 2023, Blake dropped a bombshell through a mysterious LLC called Vanson. She filed a vague lawsuit with 10 anonymous Jane Does, no clear allegations, and zero transparency. It looked like a legal stunt, and that's exactly what it was. Because within 24 hours, she filed another lawsuit, this time naming Justin Baldoni, the director of It Ends With Us. Sources claim this original filing was a shadow lawsuit, Not for justice, but to subpoena private messages from Baldoni's former publicist. A legal loophole designed to dig up dirt. Lawyers called it shady. Fans called it desperate. And the internet called it Vangate.
Like, it's kind of, I wasn't that surprised that Ryan wasn't there. It wasn't his movie. It was weird that Ryan was there and it ends with us. If he shows up to every one of her movies that has nothing to do with, I think it would be worse reaction. I do. She does not want to have a family with no income, and she knows that Ryan's career has so far survived the fall.
Justin Baldoni, Jamie Heath, and everyone else that you tried to destroy with your narcissistic delusions and lies. It's just outrageous. So yeah, these are her people saying this. The first source says things are tense at home given the level of scrutiny they're facing. Adds a third source, they've had their lives turned upside down. It's been hard.
Now, unfortunately, Justin Baldoni's attorney Brian Friedman's house burnt down in the LA wildfires, so Ryan isn't making his life any easier. One of the reasons why Ryan is trying to stop Justin's attorney, Brian, is because Brian released that unedited footage to the media, in which makes Blake look like she kind of enjoys what's going on with Justin Baldoni.
Then came the texts, or rather, the alleged manipulation of them. Blake's legal team claimed Baldoni harassed her, gaslit her, and crossed professional lines. But his team hit back hard, accusing Blake of editing messages, twisting context, and cherry-picking conversations to make him look like the villain. What should have been evidence became a montage, stitched together, tone-deaf, and suspiciously timed.
And Ryan? He saw those texts, and he didn't like what he saw.
Behind the scenes, tensions exploded. Ryan allegedly tried to take over It Ends With Us, demanding new editors, composers, and creative control. Not because he cared about the movie, but because he wanted to protect his brand, his reputation, his empire. He even got into a screaming match with Baldoni in a New York penthouse. Yes, a penthouse, arguing over the tone of the film. It was less producer collaboration, more Marvel-style power play. And it sent a message loud and clear. Ryan was done letting Blake steer the ship. Then came the leak that broke the internet, unedited footage from the set of It Ends With Us. Blake and Baldoni dancing intimately, locked in a scene long after the director yelled cut.
Giggling.
Lingering. Still in character. Or maybe just in something else. Fans flipped. TikTok went into meltdown mode. People weren't shipping the movie anymore, they were shipping the actors. And Blake's legal team scrambled to spin it. Enter Maya Collins, an intimacy coordinator who claimed Baldoni made Blake uncomfortable. But critics weren't buying it.
Too convenient.
Too well-timed. Too much like a PR plant. Ryan tried to shut it all down, literally. He filed a motion to silence Baldoni's lawyer, Brian Friedman, right as the attorney was speaking to Deadline and Variety. But here's the kicker. Friedman's house had just burned down in the LA wildfires. That gag order request?
Denied.
And worse, it made Ryan look tone-deaf, desperate, and completely out of touch. The same guy who built his career on sarcasm and was now trying to silence a man sifting through ash. That's not just bad optics. That's career suicide. The fallout spread like wildfire. Taylor Swift reportedly cut ties after being indirectly named in Blake's lawsuit. Anna Kendrick distanced herself publicly. Amazon panicked, quietly praying the movie would just disappear. Even Variety removed Blake from their Best Actress watch list without explanation. She wasn't just losing friends, she was losing credibility. And the final blow? The sequel poster for Another Simple Favor 2, where Anna Kendrick's name appeared first. A subtle studio reshuffling of loyalties. And a silent message. Blake was no longer untouchable. By early 2024, the writing was on the wall. Ryan allegedly prepped divorce papers after seeing texts between Blake and Baldoni that were just too flirty for someone suing for harassment. Flirty emojis. Late-night confessions. Emotional exchanges. The emotional cheating starter pack. And while Blake cried emotional trauma in court documents, Ryan was quietly restructuring his assets, shielding his empire, and preparing for life post-Blake. Reports suggest he'll walk away with most of his Netflix and Disney-backed ventures, while Blake's left with lifestyle brands and a comment section filled with memes.
So, who wins in the end? Ryan?
He's still Deadpool, still posting dad jokes, still smiling for cameras, and still protecting his brand like a Marvel superhero dodging explosions. Blake, her image is in shambles. Her career? On life support. Her lawsuit? Imploded. Her friendships?
Gone.
And her marriage? Well, that was over long before any of this hit the headlines. This wasn't just a breakup. It was a full-scale PR war. And Blake was the one holding the lit match. So, here's the real question. Can Blake recover? Or is this the end of her A-list reign? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you like this breakdown, smash that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into Hollywood's biggest scandals.